Hey everyone, this is Chris Nusbaum with the Bridges Technical Assistance Center, and I'm here today to demonstrate just a few of the many uses of ChatGPT as we chat about ChatGPT in this final installment of the Access April series of transition tips as part of our Bridges Resource Library and Transition Tip Tuesday blog posts. So, ChatGPT, as mentioned in the written portion of this post, is a language generator artificial intelligence tool. And as you may remember from the last installment of this series, ChatGPT is also used to generate the descriptions that you get from the Picture Smart AI feature of JAWS, as well as the Be My AI feature of the Be My Eyes app. So as you can tell, ChatGPT gives some pretty good and pretty advanced information uh, if you give it the right prompts, if you give it effective prompts. And that, in my experience, is the key to using ChatGPT well. Like, how do you give it the prompts that it needs to give you rather the information that you want? So the good thing about it, though, is true to its name, chat. You can have a conversation with it. So, like, if you put a prompt in and it gives you something and it's not what you wanted, then you can put a message in that same conversation that says basically, no, that's not what I wanted. And there was one time where I literally said, no, that's not what I wanted to do. And you can rephrase the question or, whatever. And it will usually come back eventually with whatever it is that you wanted it to do. So really the possibilities are endless with ChatGPT. That's what makes it both a good productivity tool and quite honestly, a fun little toy to play with for those of us who enjoy just having fun with tech and seeing what it can do. And I have been completely fascinated with this thing since the moment I downloaded it. So I am using ChatGPT on my iPhone with the iOS app. Personally, I find that that is the most efficient way to use it. You can use it on the computer with a screen reader. That's done in your browser with the website openai.com/chatgpt. I have used it that way. The website, in my opinion, is a bit cluttered. It is accessible. There's a few unlabeled buttons here and there, but it does work. Personally, I just find that if you're going to do a lot with ChatGPT, I like it better to do it on the website or on the iOS app. So right now, I'm just going to demonstrate it the way that I ordinarily use ChatGPT, which is on my iPhone connected to my Braille display. So I've got my phone here and I got my Braille display connected to it. So when I open the app, the first thing that comes up at the top of the screen is a menu. And if I open that up, I'm going to see some stuff like my history of previous chats and other GPTs, they're called. So, like other things that you can do, other projects with, for example, making images with, or Excel spreadsheets, I think is one of them. There's all kinds of stuff. I really have not explored them all. Um, and when I first downloaded this thing like a year ago, none of those things existed. So it has really exploded in capability. But we're just going to explore the OG ChatGPT, the original. Um, and so we're going to go here and past the menu. The next thing that's going to show up is ChatGPT 4. So that's the version of ChatGPT that we're using. So there's ChatGPT 3.5. That's the older one. And then if you want to use ChatGPT 4, I believe you have to pay for that one, but that one's a little more like advanced and you can do more um, kind of complex stuff with it. And then you get to some examples of some of the things that you can do with it. For example, so there's a button that says New Chat here, and right now that's dimmed because I haven't put anything in it. So it says, write a short story. So here's some of the examples. Write a short story tailored to your favorite genre. Test my knowledge on ancient civilizations. Compare design principles for mobile apps and desktop software. So a lot of computer coders are using this to program websites and computer programs and things like that. And write a thank you note to a guest speaker for my class. I actually did something similar recently with ChatGPT. We had a guest speaker for a program that I was hosting, and I used ChatGPT to help me quickly write a thank you note to her. So that's just some examples of some things that you can do. So then there's a thing that says attach. I haven't messed with that, but I'm guessing that that's a thing where you can attach a file. I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure what you can do with it, but once you attach the file, I guess you can then go into the chat and tell it, what to do with that file. I will play with that, and if somebody plays with it and uh, finds something, I would be glad to know about it. In any case, next up, there's a dictation button. So that's your standard thing where it opens up the dictate feature on your iPhone and you can dictate your prompt. And then we get to a text field where you can type in, and if you have voiceover on, right now my speech is off, but if you have voiceover on, it's going to say new message, text field is editing. So that is where we're going to type in our prompt. So the first prompt I'll type in just as a test is I'll say, okay, so what I typed in is write a script for a podcast demonstrating ChatGPT geared toward students and educators. So I know that this right now is more a video, but it's kind of the format of a podcast. So really, we're gonna kind of see what it comes up with what we're doing right now. So I'm gonna just change the prompt slightly. And I'm actually going to say the features of ChatGPT geared towards students and educators. So what I found is if I'm doing something like this, which I have before, um, I've told it, what I wanted to do, and then I have to kind of tell it what my audience is, because eh, if I don't, then it will come up with something that's not quite what I want. So then I'm going to go down. So if I do my space with dot four, or if you're just using VoiceOver, you'll do swipe right. You'll get something that says full screen. So that's if you want to open the chat in full screen. Then there will be a button that says send. So you'll hit that, and that's what sends it off into the language generator. So we'll double tap, or in this case, space with 3-6, and it's going to generate. And in the meantime, while it's generating, you'll see if you're using a braille display, it'll first say you. So it's showing the message that I sent. And now you're going to see, this is just the fun part. If you're using a braille display, it'll just pop up slowly, slowly, slowly as it's generating. So what I usually do is just to make things less confusing, wait until it stops. So I don't think you can really hear it, but the phone is vibrating if you hold it in your hand. And the braille display is kind of popping up as things are coming up. Okay, it looks like we're done. So now it's showing me the kind of back and forth. So it says you, and then I said write a script for a podcast demonstrating the features of ChatGPT geared towards students and educators. So then if I scroll down, then it says ChatGPT. So it's kind of like a script. So then it says, here's what ChatGPT said. And then it's giving the title of the episode. It says, title, Exploring ChatGPT, a game changer for education. So we're going to start. Intro music. Host. Welcome to EdTech Today, where we dive into the tools shaping classrooms of the future. I'm your host, Alex. Gave me a name. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're focusing on an incredibly powerful tool, ChatGPT. Whether you're a student, teacher, or just curious about the latest in educational technology, this episode will illuminate how ChatGPT can be a transformative asset in learning and teaching. Transition effect is written in brackets, so it's kind of a stage direction. For those of you who do audio production, you'll know what a transition effect is. It's kind of like music or a sound effect to denote that there's a transition taking place into a new part of the episode. So now the host says, to start off, let's break down what ChatGPT is. Developed by OpenAI, it's an AI language model that can understand and generate human-like text based on the input it receives. This makes it an excellent tool for a variety of educational purposes. Soundbite, clip of ChatGPT responding to a complex question. Host, impressive, right? Now, let's explore how ChatGPT can be utilized in the educational sphere. Joining me today is Jamie, an educator with first-hand experience using ChatGPT in the classroom. Welcome, Jamie. Jamie says, thanks, Alex. Excited to be here and share how ChatGPT has been a game changer for my students. Host, Jamie, can you kick us off by explaining how you've integrated ChatGPT into your teaching? Jamie, absolutely. One of the first areas where ChatGPT made a big impact was in personalized learning. I use it to create custom study aids that match the learning pace and style of each student. Example soundbite. This is again written in brackets like a stage direction. Example soundbite ChatGPT creating a study quiz. Host. That's a fantastic use. It shows how AI can cater to individual learning needs. Now, beyond personalization, ChatGPT can also assist in creating content, right? Jamie. Yes, that's another major benefit. For example, I generate practice prompts for writing assignments and discussion. It saves time and inspires students with creative ideas they might not have considered. Transition effect. Host. Moving on, another powerful feature of ChatGPT is its ability to simulate historical figures or characters for interactive learning. Jamie, how have your students responded to that? Jamie, they love it. It's like having a virtual guest speaker. For instance, students can chat with a simulation of Shakespeare to deepen their understanding of his works. It makes learning dynamic and much more engaging. And then there's a soundbite of simulated Shakespeare dialogue. Host, that's truly bringing history to life. Now, as we talk about interactive learning, I think it's important to touch on language learning. How does ChatGPT fit into this? Jamie, it's been invaluable, especially with practicing conversation skills. Students can converse in the language they're learning, receive corrections, and get explanations on grammar and usage, all in real time. Example soundbite ChatGPT practicing French with a student. Host. It seems like ChatGPT not only enhances learning but also supports teachers by automating, administrative tasks. Could you expand on that, Jamie? Definitely. It helps with summarizing texts, generating informative feedback for students, and even answering routine questions about homework and class schedules. This allows me more time to focus on actual teaching. And there's a transition effect. So that's just an example. And that's pretty cool, right? So, as a podcaster, uh, I I think that's pretty cool. I my my radio shows and podcasts, including this one, are mostly, more unscripted than that, but the format is pretty accurate. I mean, I am impressed. And probably if I was writing content for a show, I would do something similar to this. I would make it my own. I would do some editing because some of the interview questions there asked by that host don't exactly sound like me. So I would change the writing a little bit to make it more in my voice, but definitely a good start. So that's pretty impressive, right? From ChatGPT. So I really appreciate that. So now just a few more uses. Um, so if you want to do more in that chat, you can um, just go back to that new message field by scrolling down, and you'll type into that new message box and it'll just build on each other. If you want to make a new chat, there is a new chat um, button near the top, or honestly, what I found is easier is to just close it in the app switcher and reopen it, which is what I just did. So I'm going to reopen it. So now I'm back in the ChatGPT app and it's ready for me to put in a new chat. So I need to do something and I don't really have a lot of time to do it because I'm doing some stuff for work, including this. Um, I am the chairman of a committee for for an organization that I'm in, an affiliate of the National Federation of the Blind. And I need to send out an email that is about scheduling a meeting for that committee. So I'm going to put a chat message into ChatGPT that is about writing an email to that committee, and we're going to see what we get. So you have to explain a little of the details of the meeting or what you want any email to be. So it says, write an email to members of the National Federation of the Blind of Delaware from Chris Nusbaum, chairman of its resolutions committee, explaining the role of the committee and asking about scheduling its first virtual meeting. So I'm going to hit send on that. All right, so here we go. The subject line reads Introduction and Scheduling Our First Virtual Meeting of the Resolutions Committee. Dear members, I hope this message finds you well. As the newly appointed chairman of the Resolutions Committee for the National Federation of the Blind of Delaware, I am excited to connect with each of you to further our collective mission to advocate for the rights and dignity of blind people throughout our state. The Resolutions Committee plays a pivotal role in shaping our Federation's advocacy agenda. Our primary task is to draft resolutions which express our collective positions and propose actions on various issues affecting our community. These resolutions are then presented for approval at our annual state convention, serving as formal statements of our policies and priorities. To begin our important work, I am proposing that we hold our first virtual meeting in the coming weeks. This initial gathering will give us the opportunity to introduce ourselves, discuss our process for drafting and reviewing resolutions, and set our agenda for the year. Please reply to this email with your availability for a virtual meeting during the first 2 weeks of June. I aim to accommodate everyone's schedule as best as possible, so I appreciate your flexibility. Once I have your responses, I will send out a meeting invite with the chosen date and time along with the necessary virtual connection details. Thank you for your commitment to the National Federation of the Blind of Delaware. I look forward to working together to make a meaningful impact. Warm regards, Chris Nusbaum, Chairman, Resolutions Committee, National Federation of the Blind of Delaware. That is really good, I think. I mean, it pretty much got everything right. The only thing it got wrong was that I'd like to have it in May, not June, preferably. If we can start it before June, just like get some stuff started and have our first meeting, so at least we know who's on the committee. That would be great. Um, but ChatGPT didn't know that, so it's not really its fault that it got that wrong. So let me just demonstrate that because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to use it almost exactly as it was written. So what I'm going to do, the, the one thing it doesn't do in the iOS app is it doesn't exactly make it clear how to copy and paste. So there's kind of a little known uh, gesture that you can use to copy and paste when the edit rotor doesn't show up. So it's a three finger quadruple tap. So, three finger double tap to turn the speech off, or a three finger triple tap to toggle the screen curtain on and off. This would be a three finger quadruple tap to copy whatever VoiceOver just said to the clipboard. So I'm going to turn the speech on just so you hear what it says. So then quadruple tap. Whoops, that's my fault because now it says speech on, copy to clipboard. Okay, so now it's reading all that. So now I'm gonna do the three finger quadruple tap. And it's doing all that and it's saying copy to clipboard. So now if I go into, let's say I want to go into notes. And I make a new note. And now I go to my rotor and do edit and then paste. So there it goes. So there we go. So there's just a few of the uses of ChatGPT. There's so many. I talked about in the written portion of this how I recently used it to look up information about hotels near a place that I needed to go when I was traveling recently. Um, uh, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff to look up information, just any number of things. Um, so there is also a voice mode if you want to talk to it and have a conversation that way. Actually, let's just open up a new chat and do it that way, just so we can demonstrate that real quick. So after your new message box, there's going to be a thing that says switch to voice mode, a button there. So if you swipe right for new message, there's a button there that says switch to voice mode. So you're going to click on that. All right. So I'll turn the 40% word characters. I'll turn the speech down on voiceover here a little. So it says chat with voice. Just start talking. Heading. Just start talking. Now you can have spoken conversations with ChatGPT. Now you can have spoken conversations with ChatGPT. Hands-free. Heading. Hands-free. Chat without having to look at your screen. Chats are saved. Heading. And chats are saved. View voice transcriptions in your history. Yep. Language is auto-detected. Heading. Okay. You can specify a preferred choose a voice button. So we're gonna choose a voice. Volume high button.
So if there's anything you'd like me to focus on first, just let me know.
Choose a voice. You can change
Okay,
the
so
flavor.
there's one.
Close, but juniper, button, sky, but selected, ember, button, breeze, button,
So let's see. Ember was the one we just heard from. So
sky,
let's see.
button,
So our
juniper,
choices are
button,
juniper,
sky,
sky,
breeze,
ember,
cove,
breeze,
but confirm,
cove,
button,
and cove. All
button,
right, so let's see what I don't know. Let's
sky,
see. It's a
but
beautiful day
juniper,
out there. So let's
button,
see what
sky,
sky sounds
button,
like.
sky. I'm really excited about selected, sky to dive in. So how can I make your life easier?
Okay, I like sky. So let's click on her.
Confirm, button, connecting. Speak now. Hold button. Start speaking. Pause button. Close button.
Tell me about Braille.
Braille is a tactile writing system used by people who are visually impaired. The system represents letters, numbers, and punctuation marks through patterns of raised dots that are felt with the fingertips. Braille users can read text by touching these dots with their fingers, moving from left to right across the lines. This system enables literacy and independence, allowing blind individuals to read and write for themselves. Speak now. Button.
Can you use Braille to operate an iPhone?
Yes, people who are visually impaired can use Braille with an iPhone, thanks to accessibility features like VoiceOver and Braille displays. VoiceOver is a screen reader built into iOS that speaks the text on the screen and provides auditory descriptions of each on-screen element. Users can connect Braille displays to their iPhones via Bluetooth. These devices convert the information on the screen into Braille, allowing the user to read text through the tactile display. Users can also input text into their iPhone using the Braille display's keyboard. Speak now.
You mentioned accessibility. What does that mean?
Accessibility refers to the design of products, devices, services, or environments so that they are usable by people with disabilities. The goal is to provide equal access and opportunity to everyone, regardless of their physical or cognitive abilities. This includes creating buildings with wheelchair ramps, developing software that supports screen readers, or providing Braille on signs and public displays. Essentially, it's about removing barriers that might prevent people with disabilities from fully participating in society. Speak now.
All right, so I'm going to close it in the app switcher now. So yeah, so this was actually my first time using ChatGPT in voice mode, so that's pretty cool. Um, if you, hopefully you could hear all that. In case you didn't, um, so basically what was happening there was I was having a full-on conversation with ChatGPT as it was speaking to me in a pretty human sounding voice, which would be cool if a screen reader sounded that human. Um, and it was talking about Braille and then describing what a Braille display is. And then when I asked it what accessibility is, then Sky, our voice, was saying that accessibility is about making sure that designs are built so that they can be used by people regardless of their physical abilities, which I think is a pretty good description. So there you go. That is ChatGPT, in a nutshell, as I said at the beginning, the possibilities are really endless, and I think it's a good tool that can be used in a number of situations. So go ahead and give it a try. It's really just, I think, a journey of discovery. Like, I wonder if ChatGPT will do this. So go ahead and download it on your iPhone if you want to try it that way, or you can go to openai.com/chatgpt, ChatGPT, to do it on your computer in your web browser. Enjoy. Thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting the Bridges Technical Assistance Center. As always, if you need help with anything regarding ChatGPT or anything else, technical or otherwise, contact our Bridges help desk anytime, and I or Carlton would be glad to do a one-on-one training with you or anything else. The email address to do that is helpdesk@imagemd.org. That's HELPDESK @imagemd.org.